This week, John Tyson, who's the head of Tyson Foods, a competitor of yours, I assume, in certain areas,
Hmm.
said that the food chain was maybe breaking down in this country. We're going to have to close facilities. Do you agree with that? And are you worried that the food chain is breaking down?
I think I would characterize it that the food supply chain is under strain, but there's a lot of supply chains that are under strain due to what's happening. And certainly there have been food production facilities in various parts of the country that have had to close because of illness or because of supply destruction. But I think basically the ability of us to produce food is still there. There are going to be momentary closings. Momentary isn't the right word, but we had a facility, a beef facility, that was closed for 17 days, but it's now back up and running and has been for the last week. So I think the food industry and the food supply chain is resilient. I think the people that work in it every day are resilient. So I think it's under strain, but I don't think it's broken.
Well, in response to Mr. Tyson, I think the president issued an executive order today saying that under the Defense Production Act, he is going to, in effect, command that food production companies stay in business and make their workers go to work, assuming that they have appropriate protection. He's going to make sure they have enough equipment and other PPE to make sure that they're operating safely. Are you aware of that executive order, and do you think that's necessary to make sure that you can produce the food you want in your facilities?
I am aware of it. I saw it on the headline right before we sat down together, so I don't know the details, but it's going to call the question of keeping the American public fed to keep food on the shelves, but also balancing that with the health needs and the concerns, and also the emotional health of the workers in the plants. So we're going to have to find the balance between the two. Of course, if you have illnesses at a plant such that you can't run, you don't have a choice. Or if you have certain vital functions in the plant that are ill and can't come to work, then you can't run the plant either. But so far, I think by and large, the industry has been able to run. We've had tremendous support from the USDA in terms of having the inspectors on site. You can't run a plant without USDA inspectors. So I think it remains to be seen of how we're going to manage that dynamic between the health and emotional safety and physical safety of the workers in the plants and the executive order, of which we're still studying the details.